Okay, this is a video review of the Archos 101 Android tablet, comparing it directly to the Viewsonic GTablet, which is also Froyo Android 2.2 based tablet device. We're going to go ahead and start from a powered off state, and we're going to go ahead and power them both on at the same time. I do this just to clear any caching or anything when we're doing performance comparisons. That way they're both going to be freshly booted and in stock. While it boots up, I'll tell you a little bit about these devices. They both came out, the Viewsonic GTablet came out probably around the November of 2010 time frame. Archos was shortly thereafter. It's been hard to get the Archos devices. They both have 16 gigabytes of storage on them. The Archos only has 256 megabytes of RAM, whereas the GTablet has 512 megabytes of RAM, which actually is a nice benefit. You'll see as you run and use the devices. The GTablet also has a dual-core NVIDIA Tegra 2 based chipset, whereas the Archos tablet is an older Cortex design. So in terms of, in the future, honeycomb possibilities, the GTablet may have some better prospective uses with that. They've both gone ahead and booted up here, and we'll let them sort of sit here for a second. You'll notice they're inverted to each other, and I do that because both manufacturers chose to put their screens in opposite directions, and the screens have very bad viewing angles on these, and I wanted to make sure when you look at them from one direction you see lightness, and when you look at them from the other direction you see darkness. So I wanted to make sure they were both oriented the same way for this review. So you can see the Archos is running through its startup, it's updating its media libraries, but they're both started up, they're both configured relatively the same. The GTablet has a ROM built by people at xdadevelopers.org. The stock ROMs that come with it are completely unusable. I'm going to go ahead and get these oriented up. You can see how much quicker the GTablet was. I had started the other one a lot sooner. The orientations change much quicker on the more powerful GTablet. As I was saying, the GTablet ROM that comes with it out of the box you can't use. You just have to immediately root the device and flash it. It's pretty much, even with the updates they've done, just a horrible implementation of Android. The Archos is using the stock firmware, the latest as of 2011. The GTablet's using a vegan ROM, which is available on xdadevelopers.org, with a custom kernel built by a guy named Pursuit, who builds kernels for these Android devices to increase performance, and it works very well. So you can see they're both started up, and let's go into Facebook on both of them, and we'll hit them both at the same time and do some comparisons. So you'll notice the GTablet actually comes up a little quicker. The faster hardware helps there. We'll go ahead and scroll these, and you'll see that the GTablet has no scrolling issues at all. It's just really nice and smooth. The user experience on the Archos is a little bit inferior. It still scrolls pretty smoothly, but you can see where the better hardware of the GTablet gives a little nicer user experience. Okay. Now the Archos to navigate around has soft buttons. The GTablet has hard buttons. This custom ROM also puts some soft buttons in the taskbar, which is nice because in the dark it's really hard to find those buttons to do the navigation, the standard Android navigation keys. So there was Facebook, and you can see they were both pretty comparable. We'll go ahead and go into the Android market, which you have to custom load on both of these. The custom ROM has that for the GTablet, and there's a hack to put this on the Archos device. You can see how much quicker it came up on the GTablet. Another example of it's just a lot quicker at processing things. We'll go ahead and do some scrolling in the market, and you can see pretty smooth on both, but a little smoother on the GTablet. Do the vertical scrolling again, or the horizontal scrolling over here. Again, it's just a little faster, I guess, on the Archos, but it's more choppy than just say fast. This is a little bit smoother experience over here on the left, which is the GTablet. Go ahead and back out. And I missed it there, okay. I've got a webcam that I use in my nursery to monitor my baby when they're sleeping. And we'll go ahead and load that up, and you can see it's a little quicker to load on the GTablet, but they both do a nice job of showing the nursery. There's no baby in there now. My wife has them at the park, so which is why I'm able to do this. Now I'm going to have to try and find the hardware button on the GTablet. And again, that can be a little bit of a problem when you're working in the dark. There it goes. Okay. They really should have put a light underneath those buttons. It would have made things a lot easier when you're working in a dark environment. We'll go into email. I have Email and Launcher Pro, which is the launcher I use on the GTablet. On the Archos, I'm using a default launcher that comes with it, so I just have it right here on the desktop. GTablet, again, is quicker to load. And we'll go into my personal email, which I've configured on both of these. And you can see, again, things come up quicker in the GTablet. Similar scrolling experience, just smoother overall on the GTablet than on the Archos, but still pretty acceptable on both of them. They're both loading more messages, it looks like. The Archos may have given up. Let me hit the button and I guess it'll load more. And while it's loading, we should be able to continue to scroll. We can. I've got a lot of spam in this account. This is just sort of a little personal account, an old personal account I use to give out to people, so it collects some spam. And this is unfiltered. So, scrolling pretty nicely on both, but just a little bit smoother overall experience in general happens on the GTab. It just feels a little smoother to the end user. Go back to the home screen. Okay, again, you see it's a little quicker to react on the GTablet. Let's go into the YouTube app on both of them. Okay, that was a comparable loading time. Now you'll notice the GTablet's taking longer here to load the actual clips, and I think this is largely due to the fact that its Wi-Fi is way below the signal strength than that of the Archos. Even though we're only about 5 feet from the access point, the signal is actually pretty poor on the GTablet. I can get about 20 feet away, but that's it on the GTablet, and the Archos can go much further, which is a big downside to the GTablet. I will say this, that I have had 2 GTablet units, and this one appears to be worse. The other one wasn't as bad as this one when it came to the Wi-Fi issue, but it still wasn't as good as the Archos player. We'll go to the My Channel on both of these. And again, the Archos on the right, the GTablet on the left. We'll try and play back one of my videos. Let's play back the same video on both of them. My kids hugging, or maybe by the first birthday video is always good. So let's go ahead and play that back on both. Now I notice there's a bug in the Archos where you actually have to turn it first, and then you can turn it back to get the presentation to play in the original. If we turn this one, again, very smooth. Both of them are fairly smooth. And let's tilt that one back up. Okay, pretty good accelerometer on both of them. Okay, and they both play the video. This is a 1080p video from YouTube. I don't know that it's playing it in 1080p here, but originally it was 1080p. In terms of video, one of the things the Archos does do better than the GTablet is video formats that it supports. Archos is a video company, video player company first and foremost, so they have a lot more codecs that they support. I have no problems playing high definition video on the inferior hardware of the Archos, just because of the codec support is there, whereas on the GTablet I can't get really HD MKV files to play well in 720p or above. The Archos supports 720p without a problem. Let's go into the Kindle app. They both have the Kindle app on here hooked to my account. Again, GTablet's a little more responsive, a little quicker. We'll go into the same book on both of them. Again, it comes up a little quicker on the GTablet. And as we scroll through the pages, a little smoother scrolling experience on the GTablet, it looks like. Did I get a page ahead, I think, over here? Yeah. Okay. Also, because of the pages don't line up perfectly because of the extra space for the soft keys on the Archos. So that might throw things off a little here if you're comparing. But pretty smooth, runs pretty well on both of them. which Kindle is a very important app if you have Amazon books, and it does run well on both of these. We'll go ahead and look at the Dish Network application. Again, launching them both at the same time here. This is a great application. It allows you to remotely get to all your TV programming if you're a Dish Network subscriber. It integrates with Slingbox, so you can watch stuff remotely if you have a Slingbox hooked up to your Dish Network account. And it runs very well. Now, sometimes I've had some issues here logging onto the site. It looks like they're both having this issue now, and I have to actually close. Well, the Archos just came up. They both just came up. Okay, that's good. We'll do some scrolling on the grid, again, to compare them. You can see how much smoother the GTablet is than the Archos at the basic scrolling. It seems like once it gets cached in the GTablet, or in the Archos, it scrolls a little bit better. And both of them should allow us. Now, there's a bug in this app that I find. You actually have to go out. Well, this one's going to let us, so you can watch it. We'll watch it on the Archos, and right now it's just going to be on a slate screen here. But that actually integrates right with the Slingbox, and that plays back video very well on both devices, I've found. Okay, so now we're back to our home screen. As I mentioned, one of the things that I have issues with on these tablets, on the GTablet actually, is the Wi-Fi, and here's a very graphical representation of that. We'll pull up the Wi-Fi analyzer program, and you'll see the differences in signal strength. The Archos has much better signal strength than the GTablet has. You can see it's almost double, and it reflects the range I can get as well very well. This GTablet, this particular model, seems to be worse than the other one I had, but in general, the Archos has a much superior Wi-Fi implementation, which might be a concern. I live in a concrete house, so Wi-Fi doesn't go far, and that's a concern for me. And of course, everyone wants to play some games, so we have Angry Birds on both of these, and you'll find that Angry Birds will run better on the GTablet, just like any game would. So you notice how much quicker that loaded up. And we're already at the play screen on the GTablet. We'll wait to get to the same screen on both of them. Okay, we'll play the same level on both of them. Okay, sorry they're inverted, but like I said, the screens are a different angle. Now let's do the zoom out and the zoom in. So both of them zoom out and zoom in pretty nicely, and they're both acceptable for Angry Birds if that's what you're into. We'll go ahead and shoot one off on both of them. This is a little bit weird to do them in opposite directions, but... Okay, so pretty smooth, runs pretty nicely on either device. You can see in the load time, though, how much quicker it was on the Archos, on the GTablet than on the Archos. Again, trying to find the home button in the dark is always a struggle here with this this particular device. Found the back button. There we go. Home. Okay. It's generally not this dark when I use a tablet, though, so that's not that big of a concern. So that's pretty much it. That's a good sort of summation of some things you would do on both of these devices. One of the things that you'll notice is this here, if you can see it on the screen. Right now there's 78 megabytes free after loading all those apps and running through things. And this one here, if we look at it, I believe we can look at it in the ESS Task Manager program. I just started another app here, but let's go back home. It doesn't come with the built-in Task Manager, but it says now this one has 180 megabytes free, and that's due to having 512 megs of RAM versus only 256 megs of RAM, which are on the Archos device. I find that I do have to force close stuff or use the memory management on the Archos. I've never had to do that on the GTablet due to that extra memory. Despite what people might say about Android memory management, more is definitely still better. So that's a nice run through of the two devices from the standpoint of performance and comparing interactively what they do. Both very good devices, And if you go to www.blendblog.net, I'll post a review where I make some recommendations about which device might be for you based on what your needs are, what you're looking to do with an Android tablet. So that's all for today, and thank you for watching.